33 seconds. Okay. All right. Welcome, everyone, to Making Yourself at Home. I am excited to. We've got our first guest speaker with us this evening, my brother Isaak Smith, who is a musician and a stay-at-home dad. And I'm really excited to talk with him because I have told him this too ahead of time. He, to me, embodies a lot of the principles we've talked about already on the podcast. So, although I talk to mostly moms and women, these principles really apply to anyone that want to better themselves, especially within the walls of their own home, and
Sure.
to better their connections. So, Isaak,
Hello.
hello. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello. All right. So I'm Isaac. Yeah, I play for this band called Adventures by Moonlight. I say it's a band, but it's kind of more of a solo project, kind of. It's like my stage name, I guess, because Isaac is spelt weird, and I had too many people not being able to find my music under Isaak Smith. So I came up with Adventures by Moonlight to be easier to find, basically. So yeah, I don't know. What do you want to know?
I don't know. Where are you from? Tell us about your family. I don't know.
Yeah,
Anything you want to know.
I'm from the Portland area, Portland, Oregon. Let's see. I have a 5-year-old daughter. I don't know. I'm not that exciting. I don't have anything to talk about.
That's okay. So
Just
how
me.
I know the answers to some of these questions, obviously having grown up with you, but for the people, how long
For the
have you been,
fans.
huh?
For the
What?
fans.
For the fans, how long have you been uh playing and writing music?
Let's see. So I picked up the guitar when I was 14. So I was like 16 years ago, and then I started writing when I was about 16. But the stuff I wrote back then was just absolute trash compared to now. So I've definitely grown a lot in that area. But yeah. So about 16 years.
And then so I know you were saying there's your Adventures by Moonlight is to help you be more searchable,
Yeah.
easier to access. Is there a name or a story behind that specific name though?
Okay. So yeah. Man, how much time we have? Um,
Go ahead.
so,
Take your time.
all right. So I have this friend. His name's Andrew. He plays for this band called The Forgotten Kids. It's a fantastic band. Go check them out. And he and I started talking. Well, so we initially got connected on TikTok because I was just like doing covers of songs like every day on TikTok, and he commented on one of my videos and was like, "Hey, like, how about you cover a Forgotten Kids song?" So I covered one of his songs, and then after that, he and I started talking. And after a little bit, I was like, "Hey, we should start a band." Um, and so he came up with the name. He was like, "Oh, I really like the name, like Strawberry Moon." And I was like, "All right." So I looked it up, and there was like 6 other bands using that
Oh
name.
no.
And I was like, "This isn't gonna work, dude." I was like, "But I kind of like that moon aspect of it." And so he and I are both really big fans of Angels and Airwaves. So
Yeah.
I went through the Angels and Airwaves, like went through all their songs to like try and get an idea. And their song "The Adventure" is, I think, the
Oh
greatest song
yeah.
ever made. So I basically took that and the moon part, and initially I came up with Moonlit Adventure, I think is what the name initially was. And then I just kind of realized, Adventures by Moonlight sounds a bit cooler. So
Nice.
we're going to go with that. So, but then he's a bit busier than I am, and I pump out songs real quick, so uh, I don't I don't think he could really keep up with the amount that I am trying to put out. So
Gotcha.
so I got to the point where like he's helped me out on a bunch of stuff. Like you can hear him singing on my song Masterpiece. And he helped me produce my last song. So he's like involved with the project, but it's like
Gotcha.
my band, basically.
Gotcha. I
So
didn't know that. So this I'm learning things too. That's awesome.
that's the story.
That
Yeah.
it's a good segue too, because I was going to ask next what bands and artists have influenced your music. So we got Angels and Airwaves. What other
Oh
ones
yeah.
do you have?
Basically everything Tom DeLonge has ever done uh, is oh man, he's so good. Definitely Angels and Airwaves, Blink 182. Those are big influences. 21 Pilots. Pretty into them. I'd say they've influenced some stuff. There's a lot. I mean, like Boys Like Girls. I've been really into them lately. Pretty much all like pop punk artists from the early 2000s have really played some kind of inspiration. But yeah, that's
I feel like
yeah.
that's an accurate description as like an outside perspective. Like if you want to know the genre,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you want to
So
know the sound, that's a good description right there.
it's very heavily influenced by like those pop punk bands. So
Nice. All right. So then has been your favorite thing about writing and or performing music?
oh man,
I know
uh,
that's like super broad, but if you had to like narrow it down.
favorite thing. Man, I'm not a huge fan of performing. I get pretty nervous, but I've been trying to do it. Like we have open mics here like once a month, so I've been trying to do like every one of those. Um, I don't super love it, but I do love like the reaction that people give me, because like there's no better feeling than like playing the song and then having people come up to me afterwards and being like, hey, what was your band's name again? Like, I'm gonna follow you on Spotify.
Right.
At that point I'm like, oh man, like maybe I'm doing something right, you know?
Right. That's always the goal, right? With music is that emotional connection. So I yeah, totally get that.
Yeah, so it's
Um,
definitely like the reaction, the people's reactions, I guess, are my favorite thing about it, to sum it up.
Gotcha. So on the opposite side of the coin, what would you say are some of the difficulties that you've faced in writing and promoting music from home?
Oh man, oh, it's so hard to just get people to listen to it. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you've ran into this problem too. Just like
Yes.
I feel like half of my music is about that, like uh, like how like people who I would expect to be uh, like maybe not my like biggest fans, but this should at least be supportive in some sense or another, and they're not, and I'm frustrated about that. Like if you
Yeah.
look at some of my songs, like you can see that theme is in there. Yeah, so the hardest part is just getting people to listen to it. Yeah, because like yeah, you know, just posting about it doesn't seem to be that effective, and you know, you don't want to annoy people
Yeah.
by like individually messaging all of them every time a
Right.
release comes out. But yeah, so just finding that balance, I guess, is the hardest part.
Absolutely. No, and that is something that I absolutely can relate to, having done an
Exactly.
at-home business and now with the podcast too. It like being anything you do like that you put yourself out there online, I feel like you're selling yourself and trying to find the people that, again, connect emotionally to what you have
Yeah,
to say
and
is like, it's hard. It is difficult.
it's like 500 people are following me on Instagram, and it's like 6 people are listening to my songs. Like, why are
Right.
you following me if you're not going to listen to it?
Right.
So
Well, and there's just so many like so much to learn, I feel like, in that regard too. It's just like everything, there's a little bit of business and marketing to everything with social media, and then you add the algorithms and all the like tips and tricks
yeah,
on top of it.
that's true too. Also, I feel um like the path that you're supposed to follow in order to promote
Right.
music is like really like annoying and kind of cringy.
Right.
Like with the type of content that they say you should put out. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
And it
Yeah.
changes
So
so often too. I
that's
feel like
yeah.
any all those expected and paths and things to doing things change so much when technology's brought into it, I feel like.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Definitely.
get that.
Different
So
apps.
with
Different.
what's that?
Oh, I was just saying like how different apps like
Oh yeah,
show different things to people, and yeah.
absolutely. So with that being said, how do you stay motivated and somewhat confident, right? Just how do you keep
Oh
going?
yeah.
How do you keep posting those like and putting out all that stuff
Uh,
despite all the difficulty?
Man, so I just go and look at my haters' comments, and that motivates me because I want to succeed just to spite them. So
Fair
that's
enough.
what's no, I don't know. I think uh, realistically, um, it's more like just like having people around uh, me who like um, just like because like my friend Danny, he's
Mhm.
always like every time he has an idea, like he has a
Mhm.
lot of ideas for songs, but he doesn't write that many. So every time he has an idea, he's like, "Hey Isaac, here's an idea for a song." Um, so just like having like that, just like constant flow of ideas helps to keep me motivated.
Right. Well, and that sounds like you have the right friend too. You know what I mean?
Oh, for
Like
sure.
to have that person that will support you like unconditionally is a huge
Definitely.
thing.
Yeah. So that is
So
super nice.
I like that. No, I mean even even though you're like half kidding with the haters comments, I know
Oh
you're
yeah,
not,
only
but
have no because I'm also not. Yeah.
yeah, I guess you're also not. No, I get that though, and we kind of talked about that a little bit a couple weeks ago, where it's just like doing things unapologetically, you know what I mean, despite what anyone else thinks, like that
Yeah.
authenticity, I think it's hard to come by. Like you have to choose it and you have to practice it, but it's what helps you find success, honestly. Like it's what helps draw
Mhm.
people to you. So I
Yeah.
get that. Like I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Um,
You gotta. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say also you gotta do it for you.
Yeah.
Uh, if you're going into a project and don't have if you're not I mean I heard this quote the other day, and basically the guy was saying that you don't want to make music like that you think your fans will want to listen to, like you want to
Right.
make music the way you want to make it, basically, because otherwise like the best way you're going to make it is the way, like if you make it for you, basically, if that makes sense.
No, that makes complete sense. And that's kind of like one of the things, and I've told you this, but just for everyone else's benefit too, one of the things I've appreciated so much about seeing you continue to put out music as, as an adult, as a dad, is I recognize what it is. You know what I mean? Because like
Mm-hmm.
what you're describing to me is what paparazzi was for me. What
Yeah.
doing my jewelry business at home was for me. Like it was, I went into it going, if I make money, great. If not, whatever. Like this is for me.
Exactly.
I gotta do the like it's my time away from kids to like better myself and to help other people and whatever, you know.
Yeah,
And it was like so I get that. So I really like appreciated that. Like that's what it's more about you would do it either way. You know what I mean? Like you would do it
Mhm.
if people listened, you would do it if people weren't listening. It's your thing.
Exactly. I mean,
It's
people are already not
and we
listening.
talk about that so much. Stop. They will after this. Um, We're hopeful.
Yeah.
But no, we talk about that a lot on this, like the importance of finding, we call it finding your spark, which is super corny, but
Mhm.
finding your thing, finding something that makes you excited, that makes you feel alive, right?
Yeah.
That's outside of all the to-dos and parenthood, and it's just yours. And how
Yeah.
do you like the importance of that for your mental health, but also the importance of that, like to share that with others too.
For sure.
So, um, with that being said, how do you make your time making music
Mhm.
a priority as a stay-at-home dad?
How do I make it a priority?
Yeah.
Um, Good question. I I don't know. I mean, I just like um
Like, do you have like this is scheduled in, or like does your wife help? Like, how do you make it happen?
yeah, so typically all of the music making gets done because like I'll let my kid watch, TV for like an hour or so a day. So like while she's doing that, I'll come in here and try and get as much done as I can during that time, and then yeah.
No, I
So
like that. And I feel like it's not easy to do, but that's like a great place to start. Because I
mhm.
feel like that's how I kind of started with my jewelry business too. Is like you kind of have to find those little windows when they're young, like when
Mhm.
it's like nap time, or
Yeah,
here's
they're
your
sleeping.
your your little screen time, whatever, and you try to not just, it's easy to get caught up in like chores or doing something else, but like it's
Yeah.
okay to take that time for you too. So I think that's a great place to start. And then like hopefully it gets to the point where you need more time, right? And then you can recruit more help and schedule and do whatever you got to do. So,
Yeah. Also, it was super nice when she was in school, because
oh
then I
yeah,
had
true.
larger chunks of time that I didn't
Yeah,
have to go. But now it's summer,
gotcha.
so less time
Right.
for things.
We're having that reality check here in this house too, really quick.
Yeah.
Um, so let's see. I mean, we kind of already talked about it, but just from your experience, why do you think it's important to take that time for yourself as a parent, whatever you choose to do?
Just to, you know, stay sane, I guess, because
Yeah,
yeah, kids can drive you crazy. So, it's important to have. Yeah. Also, because like, you don't want to make your entire identity about parenting your child. Like, you are a person outside of
absolutely.
them, so it's good to have something that you can, you know, do away from parenting.
Agreed. Well, and I feel like I know for me, I've heard stories of like once the kids are away, you know what I mean? You kind of like if you do get so caught up in like that's the biggest part of your identity is
Yeah.
taking care of them, that once they're out of the house,
What are you
it's
gonna
like,
do?
what do we do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you kind of lose, kind of have a harder time getting back to yourself. So I think if you take that time, even if it's just a little bit a day, you
Yeah,
know, same
for
with
sure.
like connecting with our spouse, right? If we like give a little bit every day, once the kids are gone, it's like it's still intact. You can still, you know,
Yeah.
be who be who you were. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's so easy as parents and as stay-at-home parents to like everything, almost everything you do, even taking that time for yourself, comes back to being there for them in one way, shape, or
Mhm.
form. So
Oh, for sure. Yeah, just so you can be more patient and
yeah,
yeah.
big time. Um, let's see. So this is kind of a weird question. I hope that it makes sense. But so
Okay.
what I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but that sanity aspect. But what has your music like offered you? Being a stay-at-home dad, like you're making it a priority. Like,
Um,
how does it make you feel? I don't
yeah,
know.
so uh I mean that was kind of the first thought I had, was like it offered me like a way to kind of process feelings about things like because like the last song I wrote, like it's not out yet, and I just finished it like 2 days ago, but it was a song that I wrote about a friend of mine who, like, we knew each other in elementary school, and he got hit by a car back in January, and he's been in a coma ever since.
Oh my
So
gosh.
just like, I don't know, because like it sucks, because like I've followed the story since January, and
Yeah.
just like wishing there was something that I could do, or just like being able to, or just not being able to do anything about it. Like I was
Yeah.
able to write the song as a way to just kind of process how I was feeling about the whole situation. So
No, I love that. And I feel like that's something, yeah, that I can relate to. I feel like everyone, for background, like music is heavy in our whole family. Let's be
yeah,
honest. We've got, both parents are musical, so I feel like all the kids in some way, shape, or form, like that's definitely kind of been ingrained in us.
for
So,
sure, absolutely.
um, yeah, because that's one of the ways, that's one of my outlets as well, too, is even if I'm not like, I don't know, it's been a long time. I've got a keyboard, but it's not like yeah. I'm not as cool as you with with the writing, and I'm not a writer by any means. Um, but yeah, I feel like even just taking a few minutes to pound something out, or even just listening to somebody else,
Oh, yeah,
it
sure.
can totally shift your whole day, your whole mood so easily. Music is so powerful in that way. So I really like that.
Definitely.
Um, so you kind of already gave us a little bit, but what do we have to look forward to from your upcoming music?
Oh man, there's lots of stuff. Um,
What are you most excited about?
there's so many things. So there's a song, there's a song that I did under Isaac Smith. It's called "My Best Friend," um, that I
Oh
wrote for
yeah.
my friend Danny, um, and so basically from the time, so when I wrote that song, and since then I have upgraded all of my equipment basically, and like I took vocal lessons. So I'm at a place now where I'm like, wow, I can make that song. Pretty much all my old songs, I was like, man, I can make these all way better now. So like I redid that song, and I'm just kind of shadow dropping it. I'm not gonna promote it because Danny's here, and we we were gonna do like a music video type thing for it. Um, so that's the big thing coming up, and then uh,
Nice.
I mean I've got lots of projects. I've got some stuff I'm working on with Andrew from the Forgotten Kids. There's this artist called The Upside um, that I'm talking. We haven't actually started working on anything yet, but we've talked about collaborating.
Oh,
And then I've got a bunch of stuff that maybe I'll put out an EP or something. I don't know. I just kind of
awesome.
I'm just winging it.
Just winging it. No, I like it. I had no idea you went and took vocal lessons. I'm like,
Yeah,
I knew you've been upgrading, and I feel like I hear the difference in like, yeah, in your
yeah,
sound. And like mom and I were even talking about it the other day. It's like the same song, put out,
yeah, yeah,
two different
yeah.
times.
So yeah, the last song I put out was "Give Up," which is another
Right.
song that I had released under Isaac Smith, and yeah, so I redid that one because I was like, I can make this so much better now. And yeah, I feel like there's definitely definitely some things in there that you can notice.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that you haven't like it's not just about just not stopping putting stuff out, but learning too. Like that's
Oh yeah,
so awesome. That's awesome.
for sure.
Okay. So for the fans, where can people follow and listen to you?
Let's see. Spotify or Apple Music, Adventures by Moonlight. Those are the big ones if you want to
Okay.
support the music. Otherwise, like I'm the most active on TikTok. Um, and then usually I try and do videos pretty consistently. And then like if a video does well or I like the way it turns out, then I'll take the video and then post it on Instagram and Facebook. So I have Instagram and Facebook for Adventures by Moonlight too, but I'm less active on those platforms. So,
Gotcha.
but if you want to stay up to date with new releases, any platform will work. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
All right. Last question to bring it home. Um, so what advice do you have for other people who like have aspirations, goals, interests, hobbies, what have you, whether it be music or something else, that want to spend more time like harnessing that, but feel like they lack the time, whether it be like working or being a stay-at-home parent or anything like that? What are your words of wisdom?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm the right person to ask. I don't ever feel like I don't really feel like I lack time. I just gotta
Make
I
time.
I would just say, yeah, be more conscious about like using the time you do have for those things, I guess. Cause
Yeah.
like, you know, when I would, cause like I used to give, you know, my kids screen time and like during that time I would, you know, like read a book or like play a game or something. But now I'm like,
Right.
you know, I want to focus more on music. So I just kind of shifted my priorities. So yeah, I would say try and make time. But
I like that.
yeah,
Simple yet effective.
for
All right.
some people, I don't know.
No, I think that's true. Even if it means like giving up some of your screen time or yeah, it's just a matter of
Exactly.
priorities, if you
For
want to
sure.
learn something or be better at something or try something new, we gotta just you can make excuses not to do something all day long, right? There's always reasons not to do something. So you
Yeah.
kind of have to make the reasons to do it.
And then I also
Focus
say
on that.
just like invest in yourself, you know,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
uh well, I mean, yeah, I mean like from a music standpoint, like I feel like I've heard other people say this too, is like, you know, if you want a sound that is a higher quality, then you gotta, you know, you spend a little bit more and get higher quality equipment so that you can produce those sounds. But
Right.
yeah,
Absolutely.
but I feel like the idea applies outside of that.
Right.
Just, you know, invest in yourself.
I like it. All right. Well, thank you, Isaac.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
And make sure to go check him out and stay tuned every Thursday for more episodes. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you for listening.